Hello, this is Dr. Inarani Ray. Today I will be discussing on vermicomposting, a very interesting and important branch of soil microbiology. Vermicomposting is a technology of composting various forms of biodegradable wastes with the help of earthworms. This compost is perfectly balanced and good. Vermicomposting, vermiwash, and wormery are interlinked and interdependent processes which, when conjoined, can be referred as vermictechnology. The earthworms eat the organic residues, digest them, and excrete in the form of pellets. The earthworm excreta are called worm crust. So here we can see the worm crust and the earthworms. So earthworms act as the natural bioreactors. So there are so many benefits of vermicompost. So vermicompost is a nutrient-rich compost which helps better plant growth and crop yield. It improves physical structure of soil, enriches soil with microorganisms, attracts deep burrowing earthworms already present in the soil, which indirectly improves fertility of soil. It increases water holding capacity of soil, enhances germination, plant growth, and crop yield. It improves root growth and plants growth, enriches soil with plant hormones such as auxins and gibberellic acid. It is useful and helpful in elimination of biowaste. So regarding the nutrient profile of vermicompost, the vermicompost contains about 1.6% of nitrogen, 0.7% of phosphorus, 0.8% of potash, 0.5% of calcium, 0.2% of magnesium, and amounts of iron, manganese, zinc. Worms eat the microbes that feed on the decaying food, not on the food itself. So food won't attract them until it starts to spoil. Worms become mature at 10 weeks, produce 2 to 3 cocoons per week. Each cocoon holds 2 to 5 babies. Here we can see the cocoons. And in 6 months, 8 worms multiply into 1500 if conditions are okay. They will stop breeding if there is not enough of food or space or moisture. Earthworms commonly falling varieties are used for vermicomposting. These are Aesenia fetida, it is the epigeic litter and surface dwelling species, that is, it remains upon the earth. Then Eudrius eugenie, it's an endogeic one, it's soil dwelling or remain on upper soil surface. And another type is the Perionyx excavatus, it is anaic type. They are the deep burrowing species. So the common tools used are the spades, then trowel, rakes, and the sprinklers. So these are the common tools for vermicompost. For composting, some bins can be used. They may be ready-made. That means purchased from the market. There are the layers and the system of drainage. And we can use a homemade one also, uh, mm, preparing the homemade boxes with proper depth and surface area. And some assembled beam can be used that is based on a styrofoam insulation sheet. Drilled, the holes are drilled in sides for ventilation, and the holes are covered with the screening using glue gun to keep out the bees. For bedding preparation, we can use cardboard, newspaper, coconut fiber, old leaves, and wood chips. And the pre-digested or decomposed organic waste are used for the food. Now, regarding the method of production, vermicompost can be produced by two methods. They are pit method and Windrose method. So the pit method is a small scale one, whereas Inbreeze is a large scale one. So pit method, the small scale production of vermicompost, the pit may be constructed by 3 into 2 into 1 meter size over ground surface, and the sides may be made up of bricks also. The pit is now filled up with 4 layers. The most bottom layers is with broken bricks, sand, and pebbles. Then the first layer is the most moist, loamy soil of 5 to 6 centimeter. This layer helps to drain excess water from the pit. The second layer, it contains paddy straw or other crop residue of 30 centimeter above the first layer, which will be used for providing aeration to the pit. The third layer, it contains 50 to 30 days old dung over paddy straw layer at a thickness of 20 to 30 centimeter. This helps in initiating microbial activity. Now comes the fourth layer. This contains the pre-digested material about 50 centimeter in height, and earthworms are introduced into the loamy soil layer, and the bed is constructed of about 50 to 20 centimeter thickness. So here we can introduce the earthworms. The inoculation of earthworm, that is about 1,000 worms per square meter area, or 10 kg earthworm in 100 kg of organic matter to be done. The water should be sprayed on the bed and gunny bag. We have to maintain 50 to 60% of moisture of the pit by periodical water spraying. And the food scraps used should be 1/2 pound of food per square feet of surface area per day. And the food must be comprised of vegetable scraps, leaves, coffee grounds, bread, plant wastes, but no meat or bones or pet waste should be added. So here we can see the layer of kitchen waste may be used, and it is found a shell of watermelon, if it is added to the bin after 10 days it is decomposed, and after 20 days it is almost totally disintegrated. Now we are coming to Windrose method. This method is widely used for large scale production of vermicomposting. So loading of organic waste in the form of bed, preferably 10 feet length, 3 feet width, and 1.5 feet in height. And after loading, the fresh bed should be covered with jute mat or dry agricultural waste such as rice bran, banana leaf, maize residue, etc. So this is the dry agricultural waste. And water to be sprinkled over the covered farming bed to maintain 40% moisture in bed, and it should be done regularly. Moisture percent can be checked by forming lump of organic waste using hand. It should easily form lump. So there are some do's and don'ts in maintenance of this vermicompost. So what are the do's? So first one is the addition of sufficient food. This pre-digested materials that should be added so in sufficient quantity. Maintenance of adequate moisture. Then stagnant water must be removed. Then harvesting of the castings should be done. Only plant-based materials such as grass, leaves, or vegetable peelings should be used for preparing vermicompost. The vermicompost should be removed from the bed at a regular interval and replaced by fresh waste materials. Bed should be mixed thoroughly to prevent it from becoming compact. Here we can see it is mixed thoroughly. And don'ts are the materials of animal origin, such as eggshells, meal, bone, chicken droppings, etc., are not suitable for preparing vermicompost. Then Glycidia looping and tobacco leaves, although they are plant products, they should not be used because they are not suitable for rearing earthworms. And the earthworms should be protected against bugs, termites, ants, and rats. The first lot of vermicompost is ready for harvesting after 2 to 2.5 months, and the subsequent lot can be harvested after every 6 weeks of loading. Watering of bed should be stopped for at least 2 to 3 days before harvesting. Earthworms go down in the moist soil and the compost is collected from the top without disturbing the lower layers of vermibed having earthworm. So here we can see the harvesting of vermicompost is done. So vermicompost harvested will be of dark brown color and free flowing. The harvested compost should be stored in dark and cold place. So here we can see the removal of mulching is being done, and the harvesting methods are different. For compost and restocking, hand sort, halving, and bag truck method is suitable. Here we can see the collection of vermicompost is being done. It is done through dumping. And for fishing of earthworms, hand sort method is used to remove the largest earthworm from the soil. So here we can see the earthworms are growing, and the hand sort method is being used to sort out the earthworms. Yes, it is being done from the mature vermicompost, and a large amount of earthworms are there. So this is all about the vermicompost. Hope you have enjoyed it. So thank you.